Cause I can't kiss you through the phone, yeah. But you can rub your pussy, make you moan, yeah. And I can't wait till you're alone, yeah. Tell them grabbing up your body, make you wanna bite me, yeah. Room full of money with me, fuck. She ain't fucking with me if you broke. It's crazy what the money make a woman do.
Spill the juice, we're back again. Yeah, you know we come to spill the juice, it's winter season, so it's freezing, it's cold, but you know we're still spilling, yeah? Shout out the best co-hosts in the world. I'll say this again, yeah?
Your boy Jim Busy.
Tennessee.
Yeah. And you know we got the best DJ in the fucking world, yeah?
DJ Dio.
Yeah? And today, we got a special guest, a guy that I think's actually done so well. You know what I'm saying? He's got so much more to do, but he's doing amazing, you know?
Yeah, myself, Arrdee. I don't know what camera I'm looking at. Myself, Arrdee. Yes, big up. We're here, man.
Yeah?
We're here.
And we got a beautiful panel as always. But yeah, man, let's spill some juice, man.
Okay, so do you want to tell us about yourself, your age, like how you got into music, where you're from?
Which one? No, go on.
All of them.
Yeah, Arrdee, Brighton boy, born and raised, 20 years old, just. Started music. Music's always been like in my family. My mum's like always sung it. It was the only way she could pattern me and my big brother up in it because we both just kind of shut up if you started singing because, yeah, used to pattern them in it. But yeah, I got into like rap music when I was like 8 or 9 because there's just loads of like, where I'm from in Brighton, there's loads of like little projects like youth clubs and just trying to make sure kids are just enjoying themselves in the right way and that because there's not a great amount to do for the kids and that apart from a skate park. And then went into year 7. Obviously everybody used to fuck about in music and that. You get into like the little private rooms with the little DJ button. But we used to do rap battles because it took a while for like grime to touch down in Brighton. So when it did, we started seeing like all the like the Devilman and Skepta clashes and like some of the other clashes. So we started doing that and then eventually my friends didn't want to clash me no more, innit? I had to become like the jammer basically because apparently it was unfair. But they were like, yeah, you should start writing. Started writing, bought myself like a £50 mic off of Amazon. Started putting it on YouTube myself. It was whack. Like all the olders cussed it. Used to get slated walking home from school and that.
You got olders in Brighton?
Yeah, not olders like that, but just like my friends, big brothers and that. Yeah, but my friends, big brothers and all that used to kind of take the piss, and then eventually I got to like 15, 16, started putting in more work. Met my big brother over there, OJ. Kind of took me out of a place at the time where I was struggling, just like lost a few bits and bobs and that, and then yeah, we started working out of a studio in his flat and we're just recording other people for like fucking pocket change, innit? And even with that pocket change, we were buying the client's pizza and yeah, just we weren't making dough off it, but it was to get in the vibe of the music. And then met my manager, started writing drill tunes, and yeah.
Here we are today.
6, 7 Brighton came out.
So chat to us, because where I'm from Croydon.
Yeah.
Like, Brighton is like country, like OT.
You lot are like 10 minutes up the road.
You ain't London. No, like, it's like, we're defo London, like, you didn't see a red bus when you was going to school.
No, I didn't see no red buses.
What's it like up there? Like, is it really ends or is it like peer behaviour? Like,
I don't know, well yeah, by standard, like, it is like country, like people call it country, people come down and they do whatever they do coming from wherever they call it country and that. But also, most of the people that I've either grew up with or been friends with and whatever, like, it's mad, how do you say it? Like, there's so many different people that not everyone there's from Brighton. Loads of people come from different countries and places. It's one of the most multicultural places in the UK. But I don't know, it's just good vibes, to be honest. I always call it like the Miami of the UK. Like, we have like beach parties, it's got the basketball courts and the speakers. It's got like a little strip, like kind of like Napa, like you go along this strip, there's like 6 clubs.
It seems like you always wanted to be an artist, but was there any distractions on your come up?
Yeah, and probably even still now, Brighton's my biggest distraction. It's like a love-hate relationship with my hometown because it's just like mandem and partying and doing bullshit. So that was really the only distraction when I could either be going studio or fucking about the mandem and doing like mopeds, and that's what Brighton's like. It's not like
music's up Brighton, because is it like house or you actually listen to like, is there a bashment, like, what's going on? Because you were screaming Adiola. I want to know what was really going down up in Brighton when you was growing up.
Like I say, it's such a mix of people. A lot of people move to Brighton to like recreate themselves. It's one of the most judge-free towns. So people might come there to like, they might not like the person they were, or they just want to reinvent themselves. So that's how I ended up being mad comfy in my own skin at a young age as well, because you can just be whatever and whoever you want to be, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, mainly it's house and drum and bass. I'll be so real. There is like a mad hip-hop culture, but
Is that what you grew up on? Like when you was going to like raves, was it more drum and bass?
I mean, I didn't grow up on raving. I blew when I was 18. I never went to a club.
I like that.
Allegedly. So I blew, when I blew, I'd never been to a club or a festival in the crowd in my life. I still, to this day, haven't been clubbing normally as like a non-VIP
That's mad.
person, innit? So I used to hate it, but I'm kind of over it now.
Was you the first one in your family to, I'm not gonna say like be successful, but in a way like was you the first one
in my family of this level of success, 100%. Like,
how did that feel like? Did you come from a big family or was it a small family?
I got a massive family, bare uncles, bare aunties.
But everyone's calling you for Christmas right now.
It's long. It's long. I can't like, even like my mum got married recently, went to her wedding, like walked down the aisle and
big up Mumsy, man.
Yeah, big up Mumsy, that's my best friend. But even that, it's like aunties and uncles and cousins that I've grew up with for X amount of years. Like, oh, can I get fired to leave? Because obviously it's about my mum. The days are meant to be about my mum, and you're asking for photos and stuff. Like,
what's
you're not
the weirdest thing a family member's asked you why she's been big, and you not like it's hurt you, but it's kind of like, you know, that one of them
entitlement.
Like, it could be I don't want to cuss my family.
No, but just like, what's the come on, like, we want to educate us.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just mad. Like what happens is they promise they'll give it like the big, and then it. So like, I'm not gonna drop names, but certain uncles and aunties and that will be like, yeah, that's my nephew. I can get him to sign a piece of paper and come to your little Bridgen's birthday party. And obviously I'm busy, I can't do that. And then they'll have a go at me like, oh, can you just send this video to my cousin's brother's pet fish's dog's best friend? Like, it's long.
Arrdee, I like your vibe and I like the way you articulate yourself. Did you do well in school, like GCSEs and stuff like that?
Grades wise, yes, I didn't go much. When we was all like one by one, all my friends got kicked out. I was the only one that didn't, but that's because I was smart. So I used to make friends with certain teachers. We had a proper naughty school, so we had a teacher and his label was like head of behaviour. That was his only job, was just to maintain the naughty kids in it. But me and him were brethren. Anytime I heard his keys coming, or like if I was getting sent out of class detention, he'd come and take me and just be like, yeah, just do it.
I feel like it's hard to dislike you.
Yeah, like, just do whatever you want. But yeah, so I got numbers, so it's a 7 in English, which is like an A+.
That's how young you are.
Yeah.
That's how young you are. Don't worry, I know about the numbers too.
Yeah. I got a 7, which is like a high A, and then I got a 6 in maths, which is A, but I wasn't allowed to take any other GCSEs. I was banned from science and I was banned from my languages.
Why?
Do you know what? Science wasn't my fault. What's my man's? I can't even remember his name now, but he fucking hated me, innit? He absolutely hated me because I was good with like grades and when tests come, but then when everybody's like studying for the tests and reading lessons, I'd never even open my book. Like I'd never revise or nothing like that. So it used to bug him, like he'd be like, watch when this test comes, and I'd do the test and I'd smash the test, and it just used to piss him off. So eventually we had like a bad relationship, and he must have come over one time. I was halfway through my test, and we had iPads in my school. Someone else's iPad.
You lot were deaf for young and
I had iPads in my school too. I used to watch YouTube videos with subtitles.
No, it was certain schools across the UK got government funded iPads, innit?
Okay.
I can't, like, our year as well was the first year group. Somebody hit a lick. I don't even know who it was. I don't know who it was, and they got back for it. But all our iPads got robbed, so we didn't get them a year later. But anyway, someone else's iPad notification went off, and he just wanted a reason to blame me. So he come over and he ripped my test up. And I went fucking skits in it, and then from there.
What did you pattern him up, or was it?
No, I just like, like I was like 4 foot in school. It was year 7, innit? So
in school, did you?
I was just cheeky, innit? I wasn't naughty. So I had friends that like got sent to pupil referral units and like naughty boy schools and all that. But we just used to like jump the gate and bum weed and that, or like just do stupid shit. But eventually we didn't really go in too tough. So in the end, I kind of just went in for my exams and then left. But I got what I needed to get. I got my, and good, man. Furthermore, I'm not saying don't get your GCSEs, but I've had a couple normal jobs, Amazon, working in a fish and chip shop like that. I've never had to back up my GCSEs once. So it's not the be all and end all.
Talk us through that, man. How much jobs have you had? I didn't even know that.
So yeah, I used to do bits and bobs on that, and then eventually I was just trying to pattern my life up. So I started doing a bit of paint and decorating for my uncle and that, and like my brethren's dad. And then the only proper job that's like not a night shift, everyone knows the Amazon story, but I worked at a fish and chip shop. I went there for 2 different shifts. First time, hated it, it stunk. I'm like mad OCD, so I love that. It just wasn't clean, I hated it. Then the second time, the geezer had a fat sack of potatoes, yeah? It's like a netted sack. And he's walking with them, there's way too many in there, you can tell it's just about to split, and it's split, and I've seen his brain tick, yeah? The thing split, and he's looked at it and gone, oh. And then thought about it. And just like, I saw the light bulb come out of his head.
Your job.
And he was like, he's like, pick them up. I was like, you fucking pick them up. He's like, no, but you're the new boy. And I was like, no, it's not that. And he was like, you can go then. So I just took my apron off and I was like, yeah, see it.
Have you been back there since you've been Arrdee?
Yeah. His son actually went primary school with me and he saw me recently and was just like, yeah, mad like apologetic. And I was like, no, it's not that. Like.
So growing up, who was your inspiration like in the rap scene?
So like I said, it took a while for grime and like UK rap to seep, for my perspective, to seep into Brighton. So it was like the first rap album I bought. I used to save up my pocket money that my mum gave me every 2 weeks. So we'd get like a £5. And then I'd go and buy, the first album I bought was Eminem's, I think it might have been Encore. Yeah, it was, because that's the vinyl O bought me. Yeah, it was Encore. And just mad, fell in love with that. I used to go into primary school as well with like some of my mum's CDs. And you know, what's that, them Sony things called? Is it like a CD-man? I had
like the thing you
yeah,
CD and then you plug your headphones in.
And you put your headphones in and you got
I had a bright pink one that I used to roll with in my book bag. But yeah. Yeah, but it's my mum's, isn't it? It's my mum's. But yeah, fell in love with Eminem, and then when I started proper getting into rap, like the art of like lyricism and flows, was Lil Wayne. I remember Lil Wayne dropped like, I think it was like 10,000 bars of Revenge or something. It's like half an hour long. And it's basically the last time he ever used any written lyrics, and you can hear him tearing the papers.
Do you believe that
recording?
Because you're an artist.
Yeah. No, have you not seen Wayne work in the studio?
No, I'm not you.
No, I ain't seen him in real life. That'd be a dream.
Who's the best lyricist you've been in the studio with? Like, you're like, wow.
H, 1,000,000%.
Did he outdo you?
Chill.
No, we go back to back, and yeah, we got a mad vibe.
What makes him different from every other? Because you've worked with Tion, Russ. So what makes him different?
I'll be real, Tion's the most creative artist I've worked with in the studio because he makes songs backwards. So like I'll write and then I'll think of a flow, then I'll think how I'm gonna say it. He'll think how he's gonna say it and what it sounds like and the sound of the hook before he's even put one word down on his notes or anything like that. So I've never seen no one work like that. But with H, it was the first time we'd met in real life. Obviously everybody was trying to spin this narrative of like Arrdee versus H, which is why we made War and that. And it was just like, he works exactly like me. I'm very like, once I'm in the studio, I'm down, I'll write a tune in 10 minutes and then go on to the next one. And I'm very like precise, I treat it like a job, innit? And he's very similar in that sense.
Obviously, you and H are both white, yeah? And you lot, I feel like you lot are judged in the urban scene that is predominantly black. Do you feel like, when people say like, oh, because I know that I've seen things like, oh, you've only made it, or you only going this far so quick because you're white. How does that actually make you feel? Because I think you're talented. I actually listen to your music. I think it's cold. But how does that actually make you feel? Because I couldn't imagine working so hard, building something, and then someone actually discrediting me because of the colour of my skin.
I think everybody's entitled to their opinion, and they might have gone through an experience where like they feel like their brethren's just as hard as me, but because they've come from X, Y, and Z backgrounds, that they haven't made it, and they might feel that that's why I have made it. Obviously, I know that isn't, but they don't know all the hard work I've put in. All they've seen is, have you seen the state of her body? And bang! So to them, it looks like it's come out of nowhere, and it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. And I feel like there's truths and falses to both of it. Like I feel like in my opinion, I feel like it's definitely harder to break in because you have to get that acceptance from the urban community. That's what rap is. That's where rap like comes from. And you have to get London to verify you, and you have to get London to take you into the scene. But also, unfairly as well, like once you're part of labels and like this mad industry and all these publishers and all of that, in their head, because they can relate to you more and like I'm from their world, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, he might be easier to work with. And that's not even the case. I've met a bag of rappers that have come from fucked up backgrounds, are some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I've met people from the nicest backgrounds that I've got rich fucking white mum and dads and live in a big house on the hills in the country and they're cunts. So yeah.
I hear you.
How do you feel when people compare you to H? Because personally, I don't think your music is the same as him? Do you feel like people just compare you because you're both just white and you've got shaved heads? 'Cause that's the only similarity between you guys. Your music is not the same.
Before I met him, that's what I used to say, yeah. I was like, it's only because we're white and we have the same cut.
But you're both low-key geezers.
I'm way more of a geezer than H. Don't ever say that. And they'll know that as well. But no, yeah. And then when we eventually met, it was like, it kind of made sense in my head because we are mad
saying
similar
he was
as
your soul
people.
brother?
We're mad similar as people. He is like the manny version of me, innit? Like both like kind of cheeky white boy, Jack the lads, kind of get away with everything. Like we're very similar. So yeah, to the public, that's why they compare.
Yeah.
But also in real life, we are very similar people, and that's my brother. So
How do you find the music industry? Do you feel like, because obviously you're new to it, so like it's a whole new world to you.
yeah.
Do you find it fake? Do you find it like exciting? Do you find it as real as like people think it? Like, because obviously
That's
growing
all
up, you
bullshit.
looked at it.
Yeah,
Is it how you
look
thought
at
it was
and,
gonna
like, it's
be?
mad, like, especially, I'm not to like cuss like UK music or the UK scene because obviously it's sick, but it's when I'm looking at it from the outside. Obviously, I grew up listening, like watching GRM Daily and Link Up TV, and it looks like this massive big world. Bearing in mind, I'm from Brighton, so even London looks massive to me, innit? And then once I'm in it, you realise how small it is
It's
and how like
tiny.
kind of cliquey it is, and just like it's about who you know, and it's just yeah. So it's like yes to everything you said because it is all fake, but it is all mad exciting, and it's tough. Like you say, like I'm young, I'm basically growing up in front of the public eye. So yeah, I turned 18 and I blew. So I'm taking it as it comes. Sometimes it's tough, and sometimes it'll get me mad down, and certain times I won't even care about comment. I see you were saying on another one of these. You were saying another one of these. You're like, yeah, you don't read comments, but really everybody does read comments, innit?
No,
So,
anyone that says they don't read comments, it's like clearly you read a comment that got to you.
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, and they're trying
everyone
to
reads the
defend yourself.
comments.
The time, because I saw there was a thing online like a year and a half ago with Digger D. He was like, oh, he felt like your music, it was like some voice note chat got leaked. Obviously, you could sit here and say like, oh, you don't care, but because you're actually talented and you actually, obviously you believe in yourself, you wouldn't be here. How does that make you feel? Forget even if they apologize. 'Cause I know after you did clear it up, but how does that make you feel? Because you're an artist at the end of the day, innit? So if I say to you, you're a shit rapper, even if I'm your friend, like I said, I don't fuck with your music, you might be thinking, raw, like, this is actually
well,
work.
if someone says to me, there's a difference between being like, you're a shit rapper and I don't like your music.
Yeah.
Because there are sick rappers that I don't have on my playlist. So there's a difference in that. But also, with that whole situation, first of all, the public apology was for the public because behind closed doors, we were conversating and it wasn't really a thing like that. And also, what was said wasn't said by him. Obviously, he made the comment about the bread and that, but again, that's the industry. Everybody's trying to get their bread, innit? Of course, everybody's popping and trying to get the features and whatnot. But it wasn't something that I took much offence to. From what I saw of it, like he sent something into his group chat. His friends are all talking, again, privately, between their friends. Whoever, I can't even remember my man's name, that said, oh, I think he's shit. That's fine. I've got group chats with my friends where we all chat shit about people. Like, you'd be lying to say all humans don't gossip between their friends. Like,
Do you feel like people use you because they know that you're charting when you like, so you feel like other rappers that will just do that because they want that clout? They might not actually fuck with you as a rapper yourself, but they definitely would holler you because they think, oh.
attempts, yeah. I don't think, I haven't got a song out or like been in a studio with an artist where I feel that's the case, but there's 1,000,000% been attempts from old heads and
old heads, man.
Do you also think because like you don't come across as like, oh, gang member, gang band, do you think
100%.
that's one of the reasons as well?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I try paying no notice to it, innit? Obviously, I'm focused on my music. If somebody wants to collab with me, like that collab that come with Digger, for example, because that's what we're talking about, that come mad naturally. Like, I fuck with his music anyway. He was in a place at the time where we couldn't link up in the studio, but he had an idea. We spoke over WhatsApp. When it come to a time where we could actually link up, it all fell into place naturally. And yeah, it made sense. So, like I said, I try not to pay too much notice to it.
Yeah, so Arrdee, so if I know a lot of artists tend to maybe use you for charting reasons and stuff. Let's say like who's like the type of like the rapper and artist you've worked with, right? Who you have like close relationships behind closed doors, away from the public eye, that you know you can rely on. You can call and be like, yeah.
Tion, a million. Well, like bougie guy, bro. Don't even know how to answer his fucking phone, innit? But yeah, no, me and Tion mad close. I've met majority of the UK rappers. I wouldn't say like I'm not friends with any of them, but when I first come into the industry, obviously I'd met all these people, and obviously I'm gas. I grew up listening to all these lot. So I'm like, yeah. I'm telling my friend, yeah, my man's my brethren, and my man's my friend, and you learn quite quickly that there's a difference between like a business relationship and you might be friends. Same way like you're friends with your workers in the office, but you're not gonna act the same way around them that you would when you're partying with the man then back home. But no, Tion's definitely someone that I'd say like regardless of rap and all of that, like he's given me mad advice and gems, and yeah. I mean, I've got a lot to thank because of him. So yeah, I'll never stop singing his praises.
After your song with him and Russ, do you ever feel like, not even pressure, but like when you're in the studio, do you think subconsciously you like, I need to get this again, because that song went
This was a
crazy.
problem for a while. It wasn't a problem after Body, but basically, so after Body, I already had Oliver Twist before Body. Body was never, we had like a whole plan, yeah, and we were getting onto my label. Like we made them write it in the contract. Oh, you have to drop this song. We have to drop this song. We didn't drop any of the songs that we made them forced to write. But yeah, then obviously Body came. That come mad naturally as well. How that come was fucking written in the stars. And then we already had Oliver Twist. That was planned to come out next. Like we have to put our best foot forward. We were going to save that tune till later on, but put the best foot forward. And then luckily, because I've got such a close circle and a good team, my manager just kind of kept me in the studio and kind of almost like blocked me from hearing all the outside pressure. But it got to a point after like, maybe after, well, what did I drop? Like after Flowers, maybe, is like what, like my 6th song in the charts. And it was like every single I've dropped, par 1, had been minimum a top 20. And it was like, right, so if I drop a tune now, that's number 22 in the charts, and someone ain't even in the top 100, I fell off now. And that ended up getting into my head, and it ended up making a lot of shit music. Because I've never, when I made Oliver Twist or when I made Flowers, I never made it thinking, I need to make a chart topper. So I had to take a step back and just kind of fall back in love with the music and the art of it, because that's how...
But do you know what? You have to remember, it takes people years to where you got, and like, it's also a bit of an issue because you got there not so quick, but like, you got so high at such like a short amount of time. You get like that, but you did well, you did good music. It takes people years to where you got, and like, they'll get that one, and then 5 years later they'll get another one.
Yeah,
so like,
that's their show,
yeah, like you should just be
showstopper
grateful that you got what you got when you did.
I'm actually going back to Tennessee's question about the industry stuff. So you know how everyone says, oh, industry's fake, this, that, and the other, but do you not feel like you play the game as well? Because like you have to
play the game. I'm in the industry.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but like, if you like,
in what sense?
So in the sense where people are like, oh, it's fake, it's clicky, it's this, that, and the other. If you didn't like it so much, like you wouldn't be a part of it. But people are always like at the same parties, at the same events, and this, that, and the other. Like, do you feel like if you didn't play the game, you wouldn't be as successful, or do you feel like you can stay away from it, almost like a Stormzy, and like not be part of it? And
I mean, Stormzy's at a level where man can remove himself off every social media platform and beat Cliff Richard at going to #1, and big up for that as well. Because listen, the industry will tell
Stormzy,
you,
man.
like salute to that, because the industry will tell you not to drop an album or a single around Christmas time, and he dropped an album and charted above Cliff Richard, so that's insane. But yes and no. I mean, in terms of like events and that, talk about everyone goes to the same parties. I don't get invited to any of them. I'm not
Invite him.
I'm not at these events and that anyway. No, it's
why don't you think they're invited you?
I get invited to, so I've been to a few of them, obviously the GRM ones and some of the events, but again, I'm out of the loop. I'm not in the London loop. I feel like there's a difference between, especially in UK, I can't talk for pop and that, but UK rap, it's definitely clicky, just in the sense of numbers. There's only a certain amount of urban A&Rs. There's only a certain amount of like sections of labels that are paying time and attention to one, up and coming music, full stop, because everything's on a fucking TikTok frenzy right now. If you ain't got 1 million views, you ain't getting signed. It's peak. I feel like I was the last up and coming rapper to even be able to have a meeting with an A&R, because unless you're banging. But yeah, so I kind of have to disagree with you. I don't think I am that clicky with it or that part of it. I mean, if that's how it comes across online, then that's how it comes across.
I never said he was. What I'm saying is, people, you have to be a part. Like, I've never seen you like be unfriendly with anyone. Like, obviously, I've done that whole thing before, but you're quite a friendly guy.
But that's just me and Jake. I feel like everyone should just be friendly all the time, no?
No, but obviously, you're seeing things that you're just thinking that's a bit, you know, suspect.
But so you're saying like, why don't I call it out and be no part of it?
Yeah, like, or do you feel like you just have to be like super neutral?
I ain't got the fucking time and energy for all that. I feel like this one-man army, like, let's fucking,
I feel like you're an artist.
change the world.
I think your job
it's
is
not gonna happen.
Your job is to make hits, innit? Like, your job is here
like literally, the management will deal with the business side of things, the A&R will deal, and the marketing women will deal with that side of things. I make the music. This is why I got in it. I didn't get in it to be a businessman. I would have been a fucking accountant. Do you know what I'm saying? So I got in it to make music and just love the art.
You done a world tour. You've been like Europe tour.
Europe and Australia, yeah.
She's from Sweden.
And New Zealand. Yeah, we've been to our home. So we've been chatting. So we went to our hometown.
When did you hear about Arrdee? What was your first song you heard about?
Adiola for sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you like?
Yeah, I was dancing to it at home.
Do you understand the Adiola thing?
I don't know. No, I didn't understand it, but it was nice. It was good. It was a good flow
Like
to
the vibe,
it.
the sound.
Everybody loved it. So I was like, yeah.
Is
I enjoyed
Arrdee
it.
big in your country?
He is. For sure. Yeah, he is. For
Stockholm
sure.
went off. The show in Stockholm went off 100%.
Yeah.
What would you say was the littest country you've been to where you thought, raw, like they actually love me here, like energy's different?
Australia,
Is
fucking unreal. I mean, I'm getting mobbed in airport. I'm a massive attention seeker. So you see all this paparazzi Kim K shit. That's what I'm aiming for, innit? Like, but yeah, like I was getting mobbed everywhere. The shows, the after parties were disgusting. Like it was.
What do you mean disgusting? What? Slow down. This is still the juice. What's going on in the after parties? Chat to us, 'cause I want to know. I'm sure they want to know.
Yeah, you talk about spill the juice and that. Someone's gonna get onto me after
Wait,
this.
guys, I think that we should.
Shut up.
Before,
Yeah.
Because it's strict right now.
Let me ask permission and I even tell this story.
Tell the story. Let's get some shots in, man.
Well, I'm the bartender today.
Hey, come on. Big
Go on,
T.
Ted.
You know
She didn't
what
like it last time.
Yeah.
Ted, I'm good.
Winter and Parada, you know how we're going on.
New one as well, you get me? That's what the same one as well.
So chat to us, what happened in Australia? What was the after party?
I'm not gonna go into mad ins and outs because it would be wild. But obviously, for maybe one day. But yeah, I had a cameraman with me. We got it all documented. For 30 years time, we could sell that shit for dope. But no, yeah. So obviously, every other show I done or something like that, we had like an official after party, and just the girls are mobbing. I remember one time I had this girl on my table in a little Burberry two-piece. Fire. Whole time, obviously, gonna go back to like the after party somewhere else, and she's like, oh no, gotta go back to my man. These times she's been doing the most on the table the whole time, and then.
You know about you girls, man.
No, it gets worse.
See a girl in the Burberry.
I see you.
It gets worse because we ended back to the after party with some friends and girls and all that, and
Where was the after party?
it's the after party.
Hey.
And obviously, because I don't want things leaked and whatnot, and some guys like to film on the slide, security have to take away phones. And there was about 9 or 10 phones taken away, and every single one had the chick and their boyfriend on their lock screen. And then one of them, or two of them, the two that me and my friends have got them back, and answered the phone to her, but her boyfriend come and picked her up from the thing, and she's like, it was mad.
What happened though? Like you're not really. Like,
I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but let's just say she was answering the phone while things was not at a phone answerable time and was just moving nuts, innit?
The Brighton boys are getting down there.
So the boyfriend didn't know what's going on?
I feel like, well, he saw where he picked her up from, so, and she paid to come to the show. She come to the after party as well. Like, it doesn't take.
After God, man, fair woman.
Doesn't take a lot to put together.
Obviously, you lot go to rappers after party. Have you ever seen any mad things at rappers after parties?
I mean, it all goes
In
down.
unison.
You know what I mean? You got the groupies, you got the wifeys, then you got the groupies.
No, the wife is already there, though,
I don't
aren't
think.
they?
The wifeys are
Let's be real, they're already there.
on the Insta.
Yeah, the rappers keep the wife at home and just.
Yeah, you think.
You girls, you got to pick me. I've seen quite a lot.
Show us,
Tell us,
man.
man.
Let me
Spill
tell you
side,
Club
man.
one night.
Posing
I
us.
was in the club one night, and it was getting in. I mean, I was just trying to stay behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And you got girls that you'll see a rapper. You'll see a white guy with a skin fade number 1.5. And you're thinking, it's all going off in from Brighton.
Come on.
But really and truly, is that man a one night man? Obviously, is he your fucking husband? Because once you get sent to the shade, brother, it's all fucking over for you. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's mad. It's mad.
No, but you know some girls don't care. They'll actually risk it all.
Some girls don't care, but I'll fucking care.
I don't think groupies are a thing for UK rappers, though. I think like
No, they are.
No, but the definite. Do you
You've got
not know what a groupie actually is?
What a groupie is?
You know what a groupie?
I know what a groupie is.
Explain to us what a groupie is.
So that there's a difference. I have never met a groupie. First of all, has to be part of a group first and foremost.
No, she don't. She can be by herself. She can.
You sound like you're experienced.
She can be by herself at the bar.
You sound like you've been a groupie.
I swear I don't know what a groupie is.
It don't mean you're in a group of 7. It don't mean that. It means
No,
you see
but
the fame.
groupies came from this definition that he's about to give you. That's where it comes from.
I'm not saying there's not
That's
like
where it originated
girls
from.
that hoe out for rappers and that, but we see when you start traveling abroad and you meet groups of groupies, I'm talking these are girls that will roll, like a group of girls that will roll with the rapper and the team. They'll fuck every single member of the crew. They'll suck everyone's dick just to be a part.
They fucking
just to
will
come to at least another show, and they'll get on the tour bus.
So do you know about them groupies then?
I fucking know, right? Cool, so I fucking do.
How do you know?
I've never met no UK group of girls that are like that.
I manage. Right, let me just think. I manage 59 models, right, worldwide.
Oh,
59
I manage 59 models. And, you know, the kind of girls I have, I'm not going to speak too much, but fucking hell, they get it going, all right?
Get it going.
They fucking get it going.
But there's a difference between girls getting it going and groupies, I think. 100%.
I mean,
No, because England girls, yeah, they'll sleep with someone and then they'll like not want anyone else to sleep with him. You know these American groupies, they'll sleep with someone, they'll walk out, they'll be like to their friend,
They're
I got
sucking
back.
6 dicks
They'll
in
be like to
20
their friend,
minutes.
go try it out. Go try it out. That's a real groupie.
Man, 6 dicks in 20 minutes.
But you lot don't know what a group is until you even tour
No,
Europe
not
or
20
something.
minutes.
Without spilling the juice.
Spill the
'cause,
juice.
Like, what country have you seen the most groupie behaviour?
Australia.
That was the massive.
It was, bruv. We went there for 18 days. I went clubbing 18 nights in a row.
And you saw 18 groupies.
18 groups of groupies. Who the man?
What's your type on paper?
You know what, my type, everybody thinks it's blonde girls, slim waist, big tits because of the bars and that. But I promise you know what my type is?
Light
Mad,
skin.
aggressive chicks. Like, who the fuck are you? Anyone remember Stacey Slater from EastEnders? That is my type, bro.
What you say?
Oh my god, let's not like Kat was the most aggressive though.
Phil Mitchell.
Kat was the most aggressive.
Stacey slept with Bradley's dad.
Yeah, because Bradley jumped off the building. I remember that episode was
Bradley's
like.
ginger. What are you on, my
That
brother?
was mad. When he jumped off the building,
I thought it was real.
I remember it was Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
I remember being on Christmas Day like.
So there was a real
I
episode.
cried. I thought it was live. Because I'm young, yeah. I'm not realising that live doesn't mean real life. So I'm thinking, right, my man's dead. Bradley's dead. It was big.
No, you're
It was a real episode.
It said live.
It was real, but I was still laughing.
Like it's a TV
How did
show.
Stacey find out? She put the DVD in. Yeah. And what was Max's wife called? Tanya.
Oh yeah, just mad aggressive chicks. Like, who the fuck are you talking to?
But why though?
from
Why do you like that? Why do you like aggressive girls? Like what turns you on about that?
Because you can just tell what the beat's gonna be like from the get-go. Sorry, I know there's ladies in the building and that. But
That's
also,
a judge of aggression by the cover.
But also,
Don't do
when
that.
a girl that I'm chatting to is aggressive with me like that nowadays, you have to have personality. Because a lot of girls, because like I'm a rapper, and they're like, oh, like they're just gonna be mad, like anything they want. Like they think that I want them to do, and that they're just gonna, and that's boring.
Okay,
I like
You
to
like a
chat.
stand-up
I'm not
girl.
trying to just go and beat straight away and then do it.
Girls aggressive.
I mean,
Wait, hold on.
All of them. Me, I'm aggressive.
You do not look aggressive.
Wait. Let's slow.
You're just ticking boxes.
You look
Hold
innocent.
on. Obviously, you're from Sweden, so you're not even from London.
No, I'm not from London.
So, why do you feel you're aggressive? And Arrdee, because you know
listening.
aggressive girls. Listen, like you listening, yeah. Go on.
Well, first of all, being a woman, also in this life, having an opinion, like in general, is like, you know, you're outstanding then. And
Failed. She is not
it's
aggressive.
true. As soon as you have an opinion
is
in
not
general
aggressive.
and you stand by your opinions,
That's true though.
people seem to be like, oh, she's this, she's that, and that's why I'm just like, yeah, I stand by my
You have to-
opinions.
like
So
a
do you
show.
back up your
I
man?
am.
Do you like put your guy in his place?
100%. He knows who he's fuck with.
I don't fall
100%. He needs to know his place, but in a nice way.
You think he can handle you then?
That's a good question.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question though.
You're not ready for the Brighton geezer, man. Trust me.
I feel like the type of aggression you're explaining is an almost polar opposite kind of aggression that I'm kind of explaining. But I hear it though, you have to be a certain because I'm not dissing you.
She don't even know what the aggression is. This is the sexual segment where we're going to ask sexual questions, but not too much though.
Oh, is it actually that? Oh, you're bantering.
Not so.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I got asked sexual questions, so I'm making sure from now on, we're asking other people's sexual questions.
I want to start off. Obviously, you mentioned that you like aggressive females. What is the most aggressive situation you've been in where you thought, rah, this is just too aggressive?
Like too much?
Yeah, like you've gotten too.
You know what? I had a writing camp in Bath. Yeah, it's like a studio, and we had like loads of artists come through. But like, after the session, it got to like 11, 10 p.m. and we just get like girls around, drinks, parties, whatever. And either ways, this studio's like the biggest studio in the UK. So it's like surrounded by like a river. It's got hotel rooms around in the complex. Come back into the bedroom now. I'm clarting one thing, yeah. And like, obviously she's like, slap me. That's cool. He's like, slap me. Yeah, cool. All right, choke me. Yeah, do it. She's like, harder. She's like, harder. She's like, harder. I'm gonna come harder. I'll slap that. As she's boom! Bang me in my face. Bang me in my face. I didn't know what to do.
Home security!
Security!
Wait.
Oh my
She's coming, and as she's come,
She's like, yeah, harder. She's like, keep doing it. So I'm like, all right, like, I don't want to hurt the girls. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But she's like, yeah, keep doing it. And like, yeah, as she's busting, just boom.
Oh my God!
So what did you do?
That turned you on?
What was your reaction?
I didn't!
I had to flip it and reverse it and just. Listen, my mum is not watching this episode, you know.
Tech money girl.
You say you have to really,
Yeah. I just banged.
Wait, sorry, you banged her back?
No. Don't
Oh my
try
God, wait, sorry, I got them again.
Today to get cancelled.
Drilled her.
Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all these sexual terms. I thought you meant you banged her back.
You know,
your thing.
Oh my God, that's why when you don't stop, and I was like, huh?
Before that, it was like eye contact. It was like,
Oh, and then it was like aggressive.
Listen, alright, cool.
So do you like getting hit then?
Did you enjoy it?
I don't mind a little slap in the face. I don't mind getting that's far. That's like getting whipped and that. I'm not
talking about whipping.
Go, you don't have the mic.
Give her the mic.
I'm talking about tying to the fucking radiator.
I get tied up.
Oh, you had experience.
Do you get tied to the radiator though, Arrdee?
No, not to the radiator. That's all mad. But I don't mind my hands tied, getting slapped or choked or whatever.
Little rope, little tie-ins.
Have you done that before?
Me?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, don't try me, yeah? Fucking hell. I don't get tied to that one, my fucking dog.
No, have you tied someone to the...
Of course I fucking hell.
Yeah?
What? You've tied a man?
I'm like, yeah, babe.
Oh, you're the aggressive one.
Yeah, you...
Well, you like...
Yeah.
You get tied up and shut your fucking mouth. And it's as simple as that, do you know what I mean? Little tie-ins, as long as it's my
like
babe.
pitching.
Did you just say my bitch? Did you say my bitch?
No, I'm joking. That's not what I said. That's like you're pitching.
No, that's insane.
What? Little bit, not too much. Like, you can't
I
tie
don't
me.
mind getting slapped or
You
choked
can't
or
tie
whatever.
me unless you're my baby boy.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's not random girls, man, are tying
My
up.
baby boy, you're trying to tie me up. I'm fucking gonna get tied up, you know. But if I want to tie you up, I'm gonna tie you up. Do you know what I mean?
Where are you from? Why do you sound like
I'm
that?
from South East London, right there. I'm side of the water. Fucking born and bred,
She's
I
South
am.
End, it ain't South East.
No,
Oh,
baby.
she's joking.
Yeah,
We don't solve anywhere in
no
this
Essex thing, babe. I'm from South fucking East.
What part? Like Lewisham?
Don't fucking try me. I love from the fucking Lewisham and the Calpins.
What's South? Because Greenwich.
Babe, that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Greenwich.
Big O2, Christmas lights,
So,
right there.
can I ask a question? Have you ever
Not
tied
right
up
there.
a guy that's never been tied up?
All right.
And you liked it? Explain the story.
Right,
Pop the cherry in
I'll
it.
explain my story. My guy.
Go on,
He was my guy.
explain.
The guy, yeah.
My guy. Until the guy wasn't fly. Like, the guy wasn't flat. And he was my guy and I did fucking tie him up. Yeah, I did. I don't like to be like the submissive one, but I would have tried. He wears the trousers. I choose what ones. It's a bit 50-50. Like Hove
Oh my God, he wears the trousers and I choose those one. That is so good.
That's hard.
Oh my
That's
God,
hard.
I want to catch him, man. My Instagram bio.
Cool camouflage things. I'm choosing them. You're wearing them, and it's making sense.
Yeah.
You sound naughty, man. You sound naughty.
I am fucking naughty. I am.
Hey, cut the cameras. Let these two chat.
Wait. So what do you eat ass?
I don't ask.
Look at he ask.
You don't
They
ask.
say.
No. Do you eat ass?
Does he ask?
No, do you eat
I do not yam batty. I don't yam batty, babe.
Well, you don't. So you've never put the finger in it.
You sound like
guys
you
ate
eat
ass.
ass.
Oh my
I'll
God,
be
mate,
honest.
it's about 7 years.
Yeah.
Definitely ate his ass.
And he fucking couldn't.
Don't do that, because when everyone said you were like, you yammed it, you didn't like it.
even come
So
out.
now, don't come out and tell her she looks like she eats ass.
Listen.
Oh, stick up
friends
women, you
now,
know.
Not even my ex-boyfriend for 7 years could get a finger on the batty. Reason being, I'm not trying to sniff my finger and smell batty.
Let's change the subject. Let's change the subject.
Too
Yam the
tricky.
batty.
It's getting hot.
Millie yam the
Heating
batty
them.
for £5.
He's going over there.
Come like this, the cold just went. It just got hot. Give Shorty the
go on.
microphone, man.
Okay, I got a question. So obviously, as like a rapper, celebrity, whatever you want to call it, do you feel like when a girl's super freaky, right, she's telling you like slap her, do this, do that, do you not see like your contract flash before your eyes, like before you do certain shit? Like, are there certain things where like you stop and say, I can't do this, because if you flip around and say like, I've got a bruise from Arrdee,
I mean,
like
no, but if you know what you're doing, so when it's a slap, rather than like a slap, it's a jaw push. It's not a slap. So there's ways. If you know what you're doing, there's ways of going about it. Innit?
so you have PR in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I got enough PR in the bedroom. Don't worry about my thing.
So is there any girl in the industry that you see on social media that you feel like you want to date that you've never dated before? Like, give us what. There must be one girl that you feel like, right, you know what, this girl, I've seen her a couple times.
Shoot your shot now.
Shoot a shot. Let them know.
It's not really a thing of like I don't really take people for social media value.
Wait, hold on, are you single, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. No one can
Why are
say.
you asking?
Like, do you have any girl that can say that that's my man, or like situation, or like, do you know what I
Next
mean?
question. No, but yeah, I think social media, because I do like marketing and you promote stuff, I don't use my social media to take people for face value. So if I'm contacting you via DM and all that, I'm not sliding in girls' DMs and that, because it's just.
You're using ghost mode.
I know. No. Burner account and that. It's very different to real life. So I wouldn't look at social media and I think, oh, right, I want to be with her because she looks piff on my gram. Because she might be dead in real life. Or she might be 10 out of 10 and just a dickhead. Like,
Wait, so how do you know, right? So you meet a girl outside. How do you know? Obviously, everyone knows who you are. So how do you know if the girl like likes you for you?
No.
So you just take the chance.
I haven't dated somebody that knew me after I've blown, since I've blown, if that makes sense.
Got a chance, basically.
So would you like, if you was to get into a relationship, would you make it like public, or would you rather just have a low-key girl, no one don't really know about
I mean,
her?
it's hard, because like, even if I don't make it public, I might fucking go 180 and someone's gonna take a photo and it's straight on Shea Bar or whatever. Or like, even we done a marketing thing for Come and Go, where like a girl pretended to be in the bed with me and like filmed it and that, and we just put that on some random burner account, 0 followers, and it went everywhere. Everybody fed into, and obviously it was sick for the single, but it kind of goes to show how the UK rap/urban media buys into things like that. So it's difficult. Even if I didn't make it public, you'd kind of have to. So you have to. It's about having a balance in it.
Do you feel like if you had like a public relationship, it would slow you down, like from doing certain things, like that, or do you think it helps?
Not necessarily. I think if I've made our relationship public, you're most likely the woman that's like, yo, you've met my mum, I'm gonna marry this chick. You know what I'm saying? If
You
I've
had a public relationship, innit?
had public
What
entanglement.
happened actually?
And do you feel like, did that make it harder when you was dating? Or did it make it easier?
She was already kind of, I don't know. We met, and then she kind of took off, I took off, and then we come back up, and it became a big thing. Like people were talking about it and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could do the whole dating. If it was, it would be like no, I'm not even gonna drop them. But it would be like I'd hide it, and then I think she'd be accepting of the fact that like yo. I don't think she'd want to be known as Ardee's girlfriend. I feel like each girl wants to build up their own whatever they're doing in their life, whether that's.
But do you feel like it helps? I feel like I've seen guys get with big girls in the media, and it actually, I feel like it big is their value.
I think in a sense, yeah, because in terms of like a marketing value for other girls, you're now like it's like when you've got a girl, more girls want you. So when you're a celebrity and you've got a public celebrity girlfriend or like a public girlfriend, more girls are buying into you because they're like, oh my God, he's so dreamy, he's such a good boyfriend, such a good boyfriend and husband and all of these things.
Goals.
So that make goals and all that shit. So it's just more marketing value. But at the same time, I ain't in a relationship for marketing value. That's my private life. So like I said, you got to balance it, innit?
Would you date a girl that's like in the industry or like not nobody,
In the
but you know what I
industry?
mean, like outside of the whole public eye thing, or would you want to date someone that
In
knows
the
how it
industry, in
goes?
terms of what? Social media or
So
music?
maybe she might be
I
like.
can't lie, she can't be, if she's a rapper, she can't be bigger than me.
But what I mean is like she might work like she might be an A&R marketing or something, and she knows how it goes. Like, you know what I mean? Or she could be like working the fish and chip shop in Brighton. Like, would you date someone like that?
I'm not gonna judge somebody based off of what they get their fucking.
No, not
living
judging,
off.
but like, would you want her to just not know how it goes, basically, in the industry?
No, so I've dated somebody before who doesn't know how it goes,
Yeah.
and then when I do shows, and like, obviously in between songs, I do bits where like I'll interact with the crowd, and I'll be like, "What you saying, babe? What's your name?" And the whole crowd will cheer. Really, I don't really give a fuck what
My
this
eye
chick
would
is
twitch.
saying per se, but and then I'll get home and she'll be like, "Why the fuck are you chatting to this girl?" It's part of the show.
So you get strong.
So you need to know what's going on a little.
Oh, well,
What
we
about
had
you girls
this
though? Would you not chat to a guy who is a normal guy? No. What?
Oh my God.
Oh, what's the question?
I need to hear you.
no.
You're not in the crowds asking next girl like, oh babe, what you saying? Like, where you from? No, I am from South East London. I am. And I'll kill cunts. I fucking will. Do you know what I mean? What was the question?
I just mean it's part of the.
Would you date someone that earns less money than you, or that is?
Yeah.
That.
No, not less.
What?
You said to him, would you date someone that works in the fish and chip shop? Obviously, he's an artist.
He's the breadwinner.
That's what I'm.
That's what he's asking you.
So I'm asking you, would you date someone who?
Okay, so if you're a woman, if you're talking about going back to basics, are you gonna stay at home and cook and all of these things?
Yeah.
I
If
do
he
nothing
earns enough.
and look after the kids and
You
cook
can't
and do what
be-
I say and.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, let's relax.
No, yeah, exactly. So don't go back to patriarchy if you're not
I'm
gonna
not
stick
going
to
back to
patriarchy.
what I'm saying is just as a man, why
Should be a
would-
provider and a protector.
Me?
No, as a man should be a provider and a protector. I agree.
So would you want your wife to work, or would you want them to be a stay-at-home wife?
I mean, I've been with both. I find it unattractive when somebody is unambitious.
But
And
there's
I
a
feel like it
difference
gets in the
between-
way because I am so ambitious and I'm working so much. When someone else isn't like that, they're like, oh, why are you moving so much? Or why are you so busy all the time? And then it creates arguments. Yeah, it creates arguments that aren't necessary.
I think when you're in this industry, you have to understand each other, and you have to be like, okay, we've been in public eye, but also keep it up with the whole, with the fame thing.
Yeah,
with the
you have to play
songs,
your role, innit?
performance. You have to understand each other and not bring each other down, because it's so easy to not understand each other.
Yeah, 100%.
So
And
dating
it's difficult.
someone-
I'll be real. It's difficult as fuck to date
Yeah, it is.
in the limelight.
You have to find someone that is
Why we not
like,
give girl flowers? You see.
No, but seriously, like, yeah, I work on social media as well.
Have you ever had to kick a girl out the VIP area? And why?
I'm moody, get on. No, do you know what? I'm very conscious about being aware of my image, and I've had like super fans and girls that like sometimes I'll be on a table and I'll see the girls that are moving towards the table, and then I'll be sat on the table, and as they get closer they just start going for it, dancing. It's like just trying to get their attention. So there has been times where like a girl needs to leave. I would never do it personally, just because if they're a fan, you're paying my bread and butter, so you're supporting me, and like you're a fan of the music. So I wouldn't want to leave a bad taste in a fan's mouth of, oh, Arrdee is a cunt and he kicks me off the table, kind of thing.
Just get big bro to do it.
Yeah, man. Just eat your ice cream. Yeah.
What's the oldest girl that you made love to?
Looking great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm around that, older than my mum, which sounds fucked, isn't it?
What?
My mum.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait, beat someone older than your mum?
Wait, how old is your mum?
I saw ya
Yeah.
move.
42, 43.
Wait, and you're 20?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
you're.
before I blew though, so just,
You was 18.
Okay. So you're
I
17.
was 18 when I blew.
What the hell?
Oh, so
16.
16.
No,
That
17. He
on
could have
the
been
pair.
17.
I can't disclose how that came about.
Fair enough.
You're a legend, you know that.
Yeah, actually, I can't like, don't exclose on that, because if she was that old and you were that young, that's not okay.
It was legal.
Oh, okay, so
So
you're
is it
18.
Wait, so
No,
like,
consent 16. But go on.
what's your maximum
Consent
now?
16.
What do you mean, like maximum age? Love has
Australia,
no age.
we don't know.
If you connect with someone and you have a vibe, I don't think
That's
their
the
age
PR
matters,
answer. What's
innit?
your answer?
Yeah, I'm media trained.
But do you wanna? And this is for you lot. Do you feel like at your age, because you're young still, like not in a disrespectful.
No,
but
yeah, I am.
do you feel like you're definitely at the stage where you don't want to date, you wanted to enjoy your life, experience
I
it,
mean-
or do you feel like because of how big you've got, you feel like it'd be nice to connect with someone? Because you know that you see like Marcus Rashford, all them guys like they're
got girls.
married, they're sweetheart.
I toss and turn between the concept all the time. And I said times I'll get into something, I'll dive into it, and then 2-3 months deep, I'm like, no, fuck this, I want to while out, I'm 20 years old. And then I'll while out for a bit, and I'll be like, all these girls are dead, they're sucking my energy, like it's toss and turn in it, so I think you just have to kind of take it all as it.
So girls, like
hype
this is
it
for you
through.
lot. Do you lot feel like in this day and age, you lot feel like you lot want to be in a relationship, or you lot just want to live your life? Like how does it? Like,
Okay, so my personal opinion is, so obviously I'm 22 years old. I would love to settle down, but I feel like we're in a society where like cheating is like glamorized. So like everyone's gonna cheat. So it's quite hard to find someone that you're gonna settle down with. So that's just what I think. I feel like it's just a struggle. You can't really find someone.
But do you feel like you want to settle down? Or
Yeah, 100%. Like I wanna like have a family young. Do you know what I mean? So like.
how young though? So you want to have kids?
You know,
next
Range
year?
Rover mums and that
Now.
turn up to school.
Something like
Carl,
that. innit?
I had a friend that's like that. You won't even mind me
Yeah,
saying,
that
but
would be
he
it.
got stick because his mum was piff, innit?
That's what I'm saying. Like that
Gets
would
long
be
for
the
him.
goal, innit? But obviously, like it just depends. Like, because I don't believe in divorce, innit? So once I'm married, like the family's gonna be together, type of thing. No, do you know? I'm Albanian. So obviously, like my culture,
culture,
is
innit?
like our families are always together.
So you're Albanian.
Yeah,
So you lot.
we're a bit backwards,
Are
basically.
you lot a
Like,
bit up. You lot. you
no,
lot
we're not backwards, but we're just a bit like
Old fashioned.
Old school.
old-fashioned. Yeah, that's what we're like. Do you know what I mean?
What's Albania like? Have you been Albania?
I know Albanians, I ain't been Albanian.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
So
Right.
you say that like, oh, rah, because you're Albanian, if you're with someone for a certain amount of time and you have a kid with them, you have to stay with them. Like, is that necessary? Like, say that your nigga goes out to the club and he cheats with you, like, and he comes back and you push out 2 kids for him, 9 months each time. What's 9 out of 9? 18. 18 months. I've held your picnic, and now you're going to the club and you're getting a little bitch and cheating on me.
No,
I should stay with you because I'm Albanian.
No, basically what I meant by like I don't believe in divorce is like no, what I mean by that is basically like if I find someone I want to trust that person to a point where they trust me, so like they won't do dodgy stuff.
Because they trust you. You trust them.
What
Yeah, but that's
country
what
are
I'm
you
saying.
from?
Yeah.
I'm English, Irish, Somalian, and Italian.
You sound like you were just
You're
born.
one of them girls that
Somali.
God, you know what word you were just screaming?
got, one of them girls that got
Muslim.
bare flags
What
on their
are ya?
bios and that.
Hey, Arrdee. Corona.
Arrdee is different still.
Personally, If I push out your kid 9 months, 10 months, 40 weeks is pregnancy.
Have you got children or you ain't got children?
I got a son, 4 years old.
Okay.
I'm 23.
Big up all the young mums as well.
All the young
Oh,
mums.
no,
I
big
thought
up,
you
big
were
up, big up,
22.
big up, big up, big up.
Wait, thank you.
You told me you were 22.
I don't like to get on camera.
Wait, pause. You told me you were 22.
22, I'm 23, babe. 1999.
So why did you tell me you were 22?
I definitely told you I was 22.
You
babe.
told
I'm
me
23.
downstairs you were 22. You said I'm young like you. I'm 22.
Babe, I'm 23 years old.
So why did you tell me you were 22? What the hell?
I'm in year like 15. I had my son when I was
You
15
told
years
me you
old.
were 22.
15 years old. 19 years old, I had my son. I was with my baby dad.
Wait, so why did you say you were 22?
You did not say I was 22.
Yeah, you did. Downstairs you said you were 22.
Baby, you're 21.
No, I'm 22. You said I'm 22. I'm
You're
young like
22 then,
you.
Babe, I'm 23 years old.
So
I'm
why did you
a
say
year
you were
older than
22?
You're 22, babe. I was born April the 12th, 1999, babe. I'm like,
That is so weird. How old are you really?
I had my son when I was 19 years old.
We're gonna start wrapping
I
up
was with
soon
my
as well,
son.
man.
I was with my baby dad from the age of 14. I lost my virginity, yeah, babe, age of 14. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I lost my virginity at age 15. I was with my baby dad.
I thought we
I had my
officially
son.
spilled the juice
Age
on
15.
the
Spill
show.
the juice.
No, the
Spill
juice
the juice.
Has been
juice
spilled.
The juice
has been spilled. Yeah.
So I was with my baby
just
dad for a
come
long
to the
time,
Jerry
and I
Springer
left
show.
him. I only left him.
No.
No one's listening anymore.
What age? The documents are
Guys,
in.
if you know her, tell us her real age.
The documents are in.
Tell us her real age.
We can now reveal that
She's actually
the
27
age.
years old.
You can't. You think she fucking bitch?
And I'm 15. And I'm 15.
I can't split it. Alright, cool.
Right, let's
Cool,
go.
let's get
Let's get some
my
questions.
baby dad.
Bro, the show's
Weren't
over.
this the sexual part? Weren't this about sexual
I
questions?
lost my
this
virginity
part?
to my baby dad. I was with him till 2019.
Yeah.
So when my son was born, I was 19 years old when I gave birth. I was a young age, you know what I mean? A young age. I didn't have a business. I was working in a bar in the middle of London
And
in
now you got
Watford.
49 models. Alright, come on.
I got 59 models.
Say that.
Sorry.
So I had my son at the age of 19 and I had to grow. Like, I didn't have time to be like, oh yeah, this is what X, Y, and Z is. Like, I didn't even have my own yard. I'll be real. I was with my mum feeding the baby bottles.
Now big up
Like,
you.
I was with my mum feeding my son bottles. And it's only when I left my ex, who was 2 years above me, and he wasn't bringing in, like, it's not about the money. Every girl says, oh yeah, I need my nigga to be like earning more than me. I need him to be bringing in the bank. I need him to bring the foreign whip. Oh my God, what's he nigga?
Wait, thank you. We've got Arrdee over here keeping her on nigga count. She was not planned.
What's coming up? What can we expect from you?
Yeah, so I'm working on a new project. I haven't necessarily decided whether it's a mixtape or an album yet. Obviously this year, like last year, done the most and just better tunes. So this year I kind of reaped the benefits. I've partied all year, I've toured the world, I've done all my shows and that. So next year I'm trying to kind of treat it back to like square one. So like just go take it as if I just started and just attack the year. As if
Do
it
you
was my
feel
first
like
time.
now, because of the success you've had, you're now just focused on your art, what you want to do? Like you're not
Yeah,
really
I mean, this
focused
next
on
project-
the trends, the TikToks.
So yes, like
Yeah.
peer pressure, the mixtape, that's out now, go cop that. But the first project that I done was just like, all of them songs could have been their own single, but it was just, I was trying to show a body of work where there was different sides to me as an artist, whereas now if I'm going into album mode, I'm trying to just fall back in love with the music and not necessarily make it for a TikTok trend or because drill's the popping thing or because I want to go chart. So I'm trying to just fall back in love with the whole music.
Sorry, for
Go on.
people that don't know, what's the difference between a mixtape and an album? Like,
For
why do
me,
you put
I
less
think
effort into a mixtape?
every artist has a different answer to this question. My best comparison is like, have you heard Dave's Psychodrama? That album. So like that album has a concept. He's talking to his therapist. Each song leads into like another conversation with his therapist. That's an album because it has a concept. Whereas a mixtape, you can just throw tunes on there and it's just like putting a load of tunes out. So it's about the flow of listening to it. Same way like Adele changed the rules for Spotify. When she dropped her album, you couldn't press shuffle. You had to listen to it in order.
Okay.
Do you
Go on,
guys feel like the TikTok trends have changed the music industry?
A million %. I feel like it's very unfair, first and foremost. as I was saying earlier, I feel like I was the last up-and-coming UK rapper that A&Rs gave the time of day for. I had like 7,000 followers or something ridiculous like that. Like it wasn't. Whereas now, A&Rs will not even approach an artist.
What A&R found you?
Big up Alex Sparks, Sam Adebayo from Island Records. They gave me the chance. They were the first people outside the studio, and there was a queue of different A&Rs and stuff, but they were the first and the last people to see me. So
Not like it's not shade, but do you not think that you say obviously TikTok changed it and it's unfair and whatnot? But do you not think like Adiola Wanna Roll with Giza was a big TikTok thing? Like, do you not think that amplified you?
The difference is I didn't intentionally make it a TikTok trend.
Right,
I feel like the difference is now an artist will create a dance and push the TikTok trend before it becomes a trend.
I feel like you work with like a lot of TikTok artists though, so do you not think there's a bit like contradictory?
Say again, sorry?
I feel like you work with a lot of TikTok-based artists. Not saying that they're not good, but you work with a lot of artists that have have mastered the TikTok trends, right?
Free?
I'm impartial. I'm not saying anything, but do you not feel like
I mean, the only artist I've ever worked with is Tion, Russ and H.
So have you ever made like a song and thought, oh cool, this is gonna blow on TikTok? Like this is for kind of TikTok. Not that it didn't, but was that your plan?
Hello Mate, which is like the song that I released in the summer. I think it's the only song I dropped this year. It's the only time I've gone into a studio and like in the back of my mind been like, I need to make another viral song. And in all honesty, the song could have done a lot better if I didn't have that in my mind. I think it was after that I was like, let me fall back in love with the music.
You see that, sorry to cut you. You see that video, Hello Mate? I love that video, by the way.
I big up One Time TV.
Yeah, I think I enjoy watching that. I feel like when I watch that, I feel like you look like a star, like an actor. Like, do you reckon you can go into that lane as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a new film coming out. If you've ever seen Rise of the Foot Soldier, I'm in the next one. I mean, that's some leaked footage. I probably shouldn't even say that. Thank you.
You look like a natural.
Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to get into. I've always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. So before it was music, it was dance. I used to dance.
I swear.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck
off!
I need you on TikTok.
Let's get used to it. Street dance.
But you can break.
On the pier. Is that what you
Yeah,
But so I've always just liked the tension in it. So yeah, I think expanding out into different parts of the entertainment industry is not only a goal, but it's kind of imperative. It will just happen.
I know we're talking about you acting and being a star here, but what is the weirdest thing you've seen on the pier?
Oh shit!
Because I know a lot of weird shit's going down.
I'm gonna say, you know about it.
One thing that was gonna just shock
stood
us.
out for you.
Nothing really stands out in Brighton because anything that happens there, it's just normal.
What's one of the things that you feel like for us would be like we'd never see just in like a group?
Probably the nitties, innit? So Brighton's like, not to disrespect, obviously, but Brighton is the biggest homeless capital of the UK, but also I mean it's one of the biggest drug users, so there'll be nitties clarting and not often. I'm saying it can happen now and then.
Nitties
there's a lot that can go on the pier. Not necessarily inside, but also the pier is run by a certain group of people who don't necessarily get disrespected very often, innit? So the pier's kind of behaved, and also it's quite a tourist attraction. So not a lot of Brightonians is what people would necessarily be on the pier, innit? I've only been there a handful of times and I've lived there all my life.
That going back to the whole mixtape album stuff, like you personally, like what type of music do you like to put out? Like do you like to have like a journey through the album, or you want to put out like viral trending releases on a mixtape? Like you personally, what type of music do you want to put out?
I think there's like two questions in that of what I like to put out and what I have to balance it with what I should put out, because again, if I chart at number 10 when I just charted at number 8, even though 10 is still sick, to the public eye falling off, so you have to keep a balance. But also I'd like to put out I wouldn't want to put out something that sounds the same each time. I'd like to drop like a drill tune and then like a mad deep rap tune, and that's what if you've heard.
Back to what you said earlier, you were saying how at 18 you blew. How was it when you got all the clout and everything? Like how did it make you feel?
At first, it was when people started asking me for photos, and at first I'd like walk along the promenade, which is like the strip, and if someone didn't ask for a photo, I'd be like, "Do you want one?" I'd be like, "No." I'd be like, "No, I swear, I'll give you one, though."
I'll give you one.
But yeah, I was mad into it, and like I said earlier, it has ups and downs. There's some times where I love the attention and I love the fame, and then there'll be certain times where like I might be going through something. There's been times where I'm going through a lot of my family, and I want to go have a drink with my friends, and you vent and all that stuff, and I can't do that. And then someone comes up, and I've had a really bad day, but because I'm an artist, I have to put a smile on and do the photo. And
would you say you've stayed the same? Like, are you humble, or like, as in, is your ego? Like...
My ego's massive. I'm definitely humble, and I haven't stayed the same. So it's like a mixed question. I think if you stay the same, there's no progression.
True. I love that answer. Love that answer.
I was going to jump off that. So obviously you're 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been in this for like, what, 2 years?
Yeah, just.
So in the next sort of 10 years, what type of artist do you see yourself being? Like, do you see yourself being like the lit artist, throwing all the parties? Or do you see yourself being like more like exclusive, like people can't really get to you? Like,
I don't think I'd ever want to be that kind of like, no one can get to me kind of thing. The whole idea is when that the image and the brand that people bought into was like, I'm just like
happy-go-lucky.
So many kids that are not represented necessarily in the rap scene per se, but like at the same time, I want to be just full-on rock star, UK rock star,
you know
like 2-month tours and doing shows in Japan where they don't necessarily understand my language.
And Australia.
And Australia. but like the vibe of the music where you don't necessarily understand, or UK's English isn't your first language, but the vibe and the sonics of the music is bringing people together, and I'm putting on that show where everyone remembers that show for the rest of their life. Like, wow, you remember that Arrdee show? That was a sick experience.
But I say it's because you're still young, so I feel like when you're young, you want to be out here, you want to be like lit, going to parties. So if you get to like 30, 35, 40, do you feel like your mindset's going to change?
I don't know, my old man's still a fucking madman. He parties like crazy. he's 40-something. Yeah, I think I'll be lit for life. Lit for life.
Well, before I ask this, I just want to say, I feel like you come off as a really nice guy, and I actually wouldn't really say this otherwise, but you seem so humble, and like every question you've just answered it really nice. I just have to give you that first.
No, I'm joking.
What advice would you give to anyone else like younger than you, trying to make it in like the music industry? What would be like the first thing that you would tell them? Or
I had this question before, and I don't necessarily think it even means just for the music industry, but it's like, be so unapologetically you. If you want to wear your right shoe on your left foot and dye your hair fucking purple and wear the weirdest clothes, there will be, you know how big the world is? People are like secluded by their environment, so they don't understand how big the world is. There will be people across the planet that will relate to you, and there's no point putting up a facade. So just stay you and keep building up that groundwork of being unapologetically you, and people will connect. It will happen.
Agree.
So this has been Spill the Juice.
Juice has been spilled.
The juice has been spilled. And as it's winter season, you know we've been doing this all season. So
I actually have frostbite. Can I just say this now? Because in next episode, when I have no toes, because I actually might have frostbite on my big toe.
Bring the heat. So Arrdee, we didn't even tell you, but we do Spill the Juice freestyles now, yeah? So DJ, we need to see if he's really talented. DJ, give him the mic.
Money!
But yeah, no, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, man. It's been jokes. It's been a pleasure. 100%.
Yeah.
The juice has definitely been spilled. I've enjoyed myself.
Now you just gotta get them rich sex. Cause I can't kiss you through the phone, yeah. But you can rub your pussy, make you moan, yeah. And I can't wait till you're alone, yeah. Tell them grabbing up your body, make you wanna bite me, yeah. Room full of money when we fuck. She ain't fucking with me if you broke.